Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another predictions video. And in today's video, I'm going to be predicting the Mbilli versus Nicholson fight. If you are new around here though, and you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you did need like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, Mbilli is 24-0 with 20 KOs, and Nicholson is 26-5-1 with 22 KOs. This fight is for the WBC Continental American Super Middleweight Championship. Mbilli's last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Gongora, and Nicholson's last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Andrade. Nicholson's losses have come against Andrade in 2023, Balanga in 2021, Hart in 2018, Rolls in 2017, Byfield in 2014, and that was all of them, and he's been fighting professionally for 10 years now. Let's speak about what I've just said there. Mbilli's last fight, another convincing victory. He's seemingly going around a little bit more now where he is stepping up his fights, so that is something to take into account. He's not just obliterating people as much as what he was and just kind of walking through people quite as much now. Nicholson coming off a loss against a top level guy, but he's coming off a loss, and this is definitely arguments that it's past his career here, but I feel like this is another step up and a good step up for Mbilli. I feel like possibly at this point in his career, if he'd have progressed quicker a little bit earlier, then possibly he could be at a higher point right now in Mbilli, but the way he's been going, there's not really been a real rush for him, and so he's been taking his time, and I feel like this is a kind of just on the world level guy, and if he wins this, then you never know, he could get onto a world title shot after this, especially with the way that the super middleweight division is at the moment, with the likes of Canelo going up and fighting other guys and stuff like Benavidez versus Morrell. That could be a big fight, and so there could be other options for him if he wants to go for a world title, if he wins this, of course. But you can't underestimate Nicholson. He's an experienced guy who has fought at a top level and has only really lost to the best guys, so you have to be one of the best guys to be able to beat Nicholson. And Mbilli, though, is a fighter. He's strong, hits hard, inside type fighter, has a good shot selection, high work rate. He'll take control of the fight. He's explosive. He will do shot for shot at times. He recovers well after taking a shot. He can dig deep. He can and will come forwards. He's high pressure, and it's going to be an interesting fight anytime you see him fight because of the fact he's going to be an inside type fighter, and he does hit that hard, and he does have a good shot selection, and it's going to be high output, high work rate, and so it's going to be an interesting fight anytime you see him, and this is not going to be any different. This is where possibly you could see him walk through Nicholson if Nicholson's head's not in the right space, but it could be the opposite as well. He could just blow out his tank and then get shown out and get shown to be a little bit predictable. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of Mbilli we see for this fight. I mean, negatives at times, and I suppose quite often with this style, which you see when you are in close and you are training blow for blow, that you do take a shot in the process. And I mean, Nicholson's powerful in his own right, so if you are going to be taking shots against him, then it's not necessarily always going to end up in it's not always going to be a good thing to do, and he is a bit of a risk taker, and sometimes he takes unnecessary risks. He'll overextend and can be timed when he's coming in, and he does have a little bit of a lack of a defense, and he has been hurt in the past, and he does have that added pressure on him as well as being the favourite for this fight. And I feel like there's going to be a few factors which definitely could play into Nicholson's favour here, and if he's got that right headspace, of course it's going to be interesting to see where it is when you are coming off a loss, but if he's in the right headspace, then he could find success here and possibly catch Mbilli, but also, like I said, it could be the opposite way around. He could just walk through him, or it could just be an outboxing, to be completely honest, just outwork rate, and Nicholson just being possibly a little bit too tough for his own good. There's multiple ways with which this fight could play out, and that's what makes it a good fight. And Nicholson, he's experienced at a high level, he's tough, he's got heart, he's got good combinations, he's got solid body shots, he's used to being the underdog, and he can get up from getting down. I mean, there was been fights where he's been knocked down before and he's managed to get back up, and maybe not always find success, but he's managed to always be able to get back up and still be in the fight. He's never fully out of a fight, I don't feel, and it, like I said, it takes a lot to get you out of the to get him out of there. He doesn't lose and he doesn't get stopped often, and so I feel like this is going to be a tough test for Mbilli. It would be interesting to see what type of Nicholson we see, if he is going to be coming in throwing good at combinations and possibly standing inside and trading, or if he's going to maybe be on the outside a little bit more. I feel like it would be an inside fight, to be completely honest, but Either way, it'll be interesting. Of course, he's lost to top level opponents. He's been knocked down many a times, and so this possibly could be an easy night if Nicholson just is struggling to get back up with the age, and the fact that he has been knocked down in the past, it shows that there is weaknesses there for him to get knocked down now. And he does struggle a lot against speed, Nicholson, and Mbilli's got speed, he is fast, he's got quick hands, and Andrade really showed that he does struggle, well, exposed that Nicholson does struggle with speed, and so I feel like this could be maybe a rough night, maybe a good night. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, it's an interesting fight, and Mbilli, like I said, is the favourite for this fight, and I think that Mbilli will win via TKO in round 7. I think it will be a relatively comfortable display. I feel like Nicholson could find success really early on, but I feel like going into it more and more, Nicholson's head's just not going to be in the right spot. It's going to get weighed down, and Mbilli's going to expose that and going to be able to land his own shots at will and possibly take a few of his own shots. That's why I said there could be success from Nicholson early on, but in the end he'll be able to get a stoppage and it'll just be too much, and Nicholson won't be able to get up from it because, like I said, I feel like he is possibly past his best and not being able to, maybe not be able to dig deep as much as maybe he used to in the past. Then where does he go on to? Richards, I think, could be a good high-level fight. Morel versus Benavidez, the winner, you never know, but you might want to be active and fight before then because that fight might be a little while and might take a little while to make if he's doing that. Or Bazinian, that could be another good fight. Of course, Canadian fighter he is and top-level fighter as well, so that could be a really good 50-50 type fight. But yeah, there's definitely options there for him. I feel like he definitely has to have a really big fight after this one and shouldn't be fighting another opponent like this if he wins this one convincingly. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you did enjoy. Like if you did, like, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.